What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the differences between Halloween in Britain versus Halloween in America. This is honestly a holiday I wouldn't have really expected to have much differences between nations, honestly, around the world. Don't ask me what nations around the world even celebrate Halloween. If you had told me that Britain doesn't celebrate Halloween at all, I probably would have believed you. I tend to do that because I really haven't learned anything ever about Halloween in other places besides America. So I'm quite curious if there are any significant differences between how we do it in the United States and how you do it in Britain. I don't know what could be different with the what costumes are in style, the different candy you give out, some other weird ritual with witches going on that I don't even know. But anyway, it's for that exact reason that I'm very interested to find out. So let's take a look.
Hello, happy Halloween. Hope you've all got your costumes on. This year, because there's been a pandemic, I decided to save a buck or two, and I've decided that I'm going to dress this year as YouTube sensation Lawrence Brown. It's just cost effective.
Okay, so when was this? This was like 1 year ago, exactly. Okay.
Just doing a walk around my street here on Halloween because it kind of occurred to me that America sort of takes this thing a bit more seriously.
That's a compliment. I take that as a compliment. If that's a big difference between British and American Halloween, Americans do take it seriously. Of course, it depends on your age. Halloween is such a different experience as you go through life. When you're a kid, it's one of the most important things in the world. When you're a kid in America, Halloween, dress up as something you love, silly, or your idol, or an action cartoon, or whatever. And then as you get older, you're either the one handing out the candy at your door, kind of like thinking, this again. Okay, at least I get to eat the candy when we're done with this. Or you're taking your child out trick-or-treating, or you're going to some adult Halloween party where who knows what happens.
You'll see more decorations on some of the houses, pumpkins and spider webs, things of that
Yes.
nature. And in Britain, yeah, you will see that occasionally, but we don't go as all out,
Huh. Yeah, well, it kind of depends on what neighborhood you're in, a little bit in America. But yeah, I think every place I've ever lived in my life, which has at least been 5 or 6 different houses growing up or an apartment growing up, I think every single neighborhood, some people, whether it's 50% of people or 30% or 80% of people, decorate their houses with scary stuff. And I think it's really cool. I think that's one of the coolest things. Americans really enjoy it, and we appreciate it too. It definitely love it.
I think America it likes its pageantry. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's a word that occurred to me just then. Because it's true at Christmas, it's true at graduation. A bigger show is made of things here, and Halloween is no exception.
Is that true? That just across the board in Britain, are things just not taken to the extreme as much? That's kind of a weird way to put it. And it's relative, right? The extreme of Christmas and Halloween in America is simply our normal. It's not extreme. Our extreme is my brain exploding out of your head and bats and pumpkins coming out. Extreme. Whereas in Britain, our average is probably like quite above average. I like that. I actually think that's kind of cool. Although I'd be interested to actually if there was some simulation where I could inspect and see all the Halloween decorations in all of Britain in 5 minutes and do a scientific calculation of, okay, America is exactly 23% more spooky and obsessed with Halloween. I'd be interested to see how true this is, or if it's a sort of an anecdotal observation by this guy.
And I'm out on the streets just a bit earlier today, just to avoid all of the trick-or-treaters who would get in the way of filming. But later today, all of this is going to be a bit more crowded with Halloweeners. I think pound for pound, the north side of Chicago...
Halloweeners. Trick-or-treaters. Certainly. He hasn't mentioned it yet, but certainly. Britain has trick-or-treating, haunted houses, candy, costumes, all the normal Halloween stuff, right? It's not like we're that different. It wouldn't even be Halloween at that point if you didn't have that. So, I hope so.
He takes that a bit more seriously than Britain as well. I think pound for pound, the north side of Chicago probably takes that a bit more seriously than Britain as well. Although when I was a kid, I used to go Halloweening a lot, usually without parents, you know. Just the three of us, friends, would go around to people's houses.
Halloweening. Is he being funny? Or is that a real term, Halloweening? Usually I would just assume, that's just a funny way to say, because that's not really a word. Halloweening. Okay.
Dressed up like monsters. And that's a crucial point that I'll get back to in a moment.
Some ghosts.
But, we'd knock on the doors and do the song, black is black, green is green, can you spare a penny for Halloween? Or just say trick or treat if we were lazy, which was most of the time.
What? Wait, what? There's a song? There's a song? That's different. Okay. That's very different. There's no song in the United States. Is he joking? Is that real? Black is black, green is green. I gotta look this up. This sounds like a joke. Black is black, green is green? Is that what he said? It's not showing up.
We'd knock on the doors and do the song, black is black, green is green, can you spare a penny for Halloween?
Can you spare a penny? We're asking for money now? Okay, that's funny. Never heard of that. Okay.
Or just say trick or treat if we were lazy, which was most of the time.
Yeah, well, we're not being lazy in the United States. There's just nothing else to do. That's the only thing. You say trick or treat, and that's about it.
And the person answering the door would feel obliged to give us a coin, often 50 pence, maybe a pound if we're lucky. And that, I'm led to believe, does...
What? What? What are we talking about? There's money? There's a monetary transaction involved? That could get expensive if enough kids come to your door. I'd really not be enjoying Halloween as an adult. It's just a day where I have to pay little kids to go away? What? Is this a thing? There must be candy involved, too. Giving people money. Huh. This is weird. This is catching me off guard. I did not expect there to be songs and money. And okay, there's some big differences. Okay, cool.
Doesn't happen in America. You get candy. But I've been thinking...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm led to believe doesn't happen in America. You get candy. But I've been thinking about this quite a lot because I think that the thought process for children is much the same. In Britain, if you get a pound coin, it's like you've broken into the Bank of England. Not literally. But if you get a penny, it's very disappointing. And I suppose you could apply that logic here, right? You get a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, Fort Knox. You get candy corn, you get tears.
Well, for one thing, no one would ever give candy corn. I guess if it was on a tiny little package, maybe. I mean, some weirdos even give popcorn out. Some real sickos out there give popcorn in a little bag, and it's very suspicious. That's what they always used to tell us when we were kids here. that people were gonna hide like razor blades and drugs in the candy, and it's like, was that an exaggeration? Because that was a big public service announcement that they were pushing. We're just little kids trying to have fun, get candy, and they're like, "Oh, be careful! They may have injected something into the candy." And it's like, really? You think? Maybe like once or twice ever or something. Maybe it's true. I don't know. Anyway, never happened to me, thankfully. But yeah, we just get candy, never money, and I never remember being too disappointed. There's some candy where you do get a little annoyed, actually. Some bad candy. Yeah, okay, that's a thing.
But I was saying a moment ago about monsters, ghoulish characters, and when I was a child on Halloween, going around the streets of Britain, that's what I'd have to dress up as. That was synonymous with Halloween. But in America, you've kind of got freedom of choice. You can dress.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a really classic take. Britain's got a very classic take on costumes, at least from what he's saying in his experience. Yeah, you don't have to be just a ghost with a sheet over your head, or just a vampire or a monster. You can be literally anything. As a matter of fact, the weirder, the crazier, the better. And the costumes, people will make costumes themselves, homemade costumes. They'll buy costumes. They'll be a famous person. They'll dress up as a meme, as a joke. It's really like limitless, the creativity, and it's cool. It's cool.
Dress up as anything, right? You can dress up as a celebrity. You can dress up as a tree. You can dress up as Lawrence Brown, which some would argue is quite ghoulish as well. Now, I'm not saying that you can't dress up as monsters at Halloween in America. In fact, I just passed some children who did that very thing. Actually, come to think of it, I think they were just dressed as children. So the difference is hard to tell. I don't know. But whether I'm in Britain or America, you know, I kind of love this time of year because it signifies not just Halloween, but it signifies the coming of the holidays, and those holidays take a different form depending on what country you're in. But
Yeah, it does. Holiday season is like its own feeling. Literally its own feeling. It's cool. You'd think it would get old. It's every year, but it kind of never does.
this moment for me is always synonymous with the idea of we're about to go into bonfire night, Guy Fawkes, all of that. I always expect that I'm going to run.
Bonfire night. Bonfire night? What is bonfire night? Hold on. We ain't skipping over that. Bonfire night. Oh, Guy Fawkes night. November 5th. That's coming up soon. Huh. I'm gonna have to learn more about that. Okay, I'm glad he mentioned that. Okay, interesting.
Run across a bonfire here and there, but it's just not a thing in the US, with good reason. But as the leaves fall and I sort of smell that smell in the air, you know, not the general Chicago odor, but the kind of autumn smell.
Yeah.
That's when I think about burning an effigy. To be clear, I don't ever follow through on that desire because Chicago undoubtedly has an ordinance against it. But it's there nonetheless.
Oh, there's some, like, British people are carving pumpkins, right? Like, they're making a jack-o'-lantern, hollowing out the pumpkin, scooping its guts out, getting a little dirty. It's all part of it, making a jack-o'-lantern. Other stuff, there's just fun little stuff to do at Halloween. Now I'm starting to just wonder if some of these details are the same. Because, I would have never thought there were songs and coins and not dressing up like a crazy, insane Barney villain. Wait, is Barney a British? That's a children's show, by the way. What's a British reference? Oh man, you know what I should do? I should search like British Halloween costume and just see what it's just Americans versions of British things, not actually British things, like redcoats and Queen's Guard and royalty. All right, not exactly what I expected. Okay. Yeah, but you can be anything. That's my point. You can be whatever you want.
So I live in America and my parents live in Britain, and we've always been confused by the 6-hour time difference. And then Britain, like today, changes its clocks and America doesn't for another week.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Wow. See, it's those little details. Those are the little details that fascinate me. For daylight savings, setting your clock back. We do it a week different? That must cause a lot of confusion for people.
Britain, like today, changes its clocks and America doesn't for another week. And by that time, we're all 72 years old. Basically, what I'm saying is, I think Arizona's got it right, and I think we should just do away with daylight savings. Let me know in the comments what you...
They were really talking about getting rid of daylight savings for real not too long ago. I'm not sure that actually went anywhere. Hold on. A lot of Googling in this video, but I'm too curious. I got daylight savings going away. Okay, it is a Google is popping this up. U.S. Senate approves bill to make daylight savings time permanent starting in 2023. Huh, I know there's some pros and cons to this. Like, it's nice that we won't have to adjust to the time difference, but at certain times of year, we're going to wake up and it's going to be utter darkness for way longer than it would be. Anyway, pros and cons.
You think about that, and I hope you all have a spooktacular Halloween. Can we come up with a better pun than everybody uses that? It's awful.
So that's something that's the same in Britain and America is spooktacular. Of all the things that could be the different or the same, we both came up with the pun spooktacular. It's funny. Okay, all right, that's it. This was by Lost in the Pond. I give it a like for sure. Very interesting. It was just kind of a simple video of him ranting and walking around, but somehow there were a lot of interesting nuggets in there. Very good. Oh wait, I don't want anyone to lose sleep over this, so I'll clarify. Candy, sweets, are also handed out in Britain, in addition to coins. Okay, there you go. I was wondering about that. My favorite was always the mini twirl. Mini twirl? What's a mini twirl? Oh, wait, it's in a cup? Hold on. Twirl Bites. Twirl Bites by Cadbury? Are these little chocolate bites, or... I'd eat it. I ain't picky. Bonfires are a thing in the US. No. I mean, yes, the concept of a bonfire existing is a thing. We will make a bonfire for any reason, but not bonfire nights. No Guy Fawkes nights. That is not a thing. And I think that was the point that the narrator was making. Americans like pageantry. We do. We do. Do away with daylight savings time. Might happen. Sounds like it's happening. Okay. Yeah, you know, his main point here in this video was that Americans take this silly holiday really seriously. And I think that's absolutely accurate. As a matter of fact, whenever I tend to live in a place, or for whatever reason, a year goes by where not as many people are into it, not many people are dressing up or decorating, it makes me a little disappointed. It's a little disheartening, where you're like, it reminds you of your childhood here in America, seeing a lot of crazy Halloween decorations put up and silly stuff going on. It makes adults a little more nostalgic for their childhood. So it's actually quite nice. It's just fun. It's just pure fun. So I like it. Anyway, if you enjoy pure fun as well and enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain, the UK, culture there, things there, stuff going on that I've never heard about before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.